help a lot of women refuse to understand. Well, I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. You see it in the papers, you read it every day. The riots and the fires going on in South LA. The muggers and the government, they're all wanting the same thing. They take you for your money in whatever spring. Well, I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. Take me. Guitar Players Planet. 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 Sunny skies, the smell of palm tree air. Looking back, I could never feel fair. The way the music has touched my soul, the way that the South holds its control. But I've got a new way to choose. I'm gonna start running back to the lands of new.
got his music. I can't hear you. Holy hair, Daniel. Turn the volume down. Try it now. Yep, there you are. Okay, let me turn this up. Yeah, I've got the splash screen. That's what I got. Well, it's 8:02 anyway. Yep. Is it me? No, I don't know if it is. Yep. Whoa. I turned on YouTube. Right up. Yeah. Okay. Right. I think they can hear us. I think we're live. Mark said Scott broke it this time.
I've seen a lot of bankers, and I've seen a lot of cops.
Yep.
I've seen a lot of lawyers pull out all the stops. I've seen a lot.
Oof. Mark says he can only hear you. Or, no, sorry, you can only hear me. My bad.
One, you could hear me now. There we go. So now you can hear the both of us. And now that we're all online and ready to go, we're here to start the show. Yes, Mark, I know you heard Scott. That's okay. You know, we're never, it wouldn't be a show without some sort of audio
Glitches.
or video glitch that I screw up. So it wouldn't. It just wouldn't. Something wouldn't feel complete. Yeah, you know. So it's kind of like South Park. If Kenny didn't die, you know, there's something just wrong with that. So you know. So that being said, how's it going, Scott? Now I can turn up the volume. Actually, somebody was asking me, and I forget who it was, and I'm gonna wait a little bit. But somebody was asking me about the music in the beginning again. And I forget who it was. I think it was Greg Meyer, maybe, or I don't know, it was somebody. And I'll wait a little bit, but just so the guys know in the beginning that are watching now, that music is actually my old band from about 20 years ago, just so I could use something that wouldn't get us, you know, kicked off for some sort of copyright rule or whatever, something crazy. So, so tonight, Scott, I think I was thinking about it, and I just came up with this about 10 minutes before I started putting out the plugs. But something that we haven't spoken about, and we used to speak about it almost every show. We haven't spoken about it in a while, and we're almost in the Christmas shopping season, and we're in that. So it's a really, don't get me wrong, COVID itself it still is was a huge boom for the astronomy and astrophotography community. Um,
Yeah, say
yeah,
that.
and a lot of people keep on coming up in the store, emailing me, whatever, saying, what telescope should I buy? What camera should I buy for my telescope? And it's an
Yeah.
age-old question, and it's something that never gets old because something always comes up. And that was okay. It was Gary. Gary was here asking me about the music. I'm sorry, Gary. I knew it started with
Yep.
a G. Sorry. So yeah. So that is if you would like the music, I would be happy to send you the MP3 for free, and I have some other stuff that I have on there too. But that's that if you want, let me know. I have it on a side note. Some of it isn't as good, but you're more than welcome to it. It's free, and I won't charge you. So, so
Have to
yeah,
figure out how to use Spotify.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, eventually I'll throw it up there, but I don't know if I would get sued eventually from one of my friends that were in the band. So,
Yeah. No, you use Spotify for other artists. I think there might be a way to work to do that.
there
But
is. I just, I haven't figured that out.
yep.
And just so you know, and everybody else
Mm,
knows, maybe I could speak proper English. Um, Simon Lewis and I was spent about an hour on the phone today.
mm,
And I know I said it on one of the shows that I was looking for somebody to do the website full time. I just don't have the
hmm
time to do it, whatever. And I found three people that
hmm
ranged in prices from 1,000 to 4,000
Oh, easily.
easily. And the 4,000 took me aback a little bit.
Hmm
But they were really, really good. They ground up. I looked at some of their work. Um, but Simon Lewis, since it's great that he's in a different time zone as well. He said he'd be happy, and I thank him from. It's going to be a big thing. He runs multiple websites as it is for the astrophotography community, and he said he would
hmm
have no problem doing ours as well, including hosting, updating, even writing some reviews and putting it on there and that kind of stuff. So we spoke today. We're getting together tomorrow, and hopefully get some formatting done and whatever. But because the whole website needs something else, it's just horrible. And
Yeah, and not for nothing. If you want to take and I don't know what background Simon has in graphic design from the artistic end, the front end aspect of website design, but that is my wife's forte.
if she
She
wants
is
to
a
be
consummate
involved,
professional.
we'd be more than happy to have
Take a,
her.
we, Certainly take a look at it, and see what's what. If Simon is willing to shoulder, the major part of the website stuff, we can
He is.
certainly
He is. We
try
spoke
to,
about it.
yeah, we can come alongside and try to bring some of the graphic end current, because
Yeah.
not all webmasters are designers. A lot of them are
True.
programmers,
True.
and they dabble in design, where my wife is the other end of the spectrum.
Yep.
She's a designer, and an artist who dabbles in programming.
And that'd be great. So she could. I know what she did. And for those of you that don't know on the show, Scott's wife, along with Scott as well, and myself, made the AstroWorld logo.
Yep, we
Um,
collaborated.
yeah. So a lot of ideas going back and forth, font
Hmm
changes, color changes, all this kind of stuff. And
Right
what
there on
came
what's
out.
his shirt.
Yep. Oh, speaking of shirts, if you want a
Hmm
shirt, let me know. These are really, really cool shirts. But hi Jim, Mark, Gary. Um, let's see who else. beds, biggest bad A whatever scope.
Badass, yeah.
I know
Scope.
I was trying not to say that, but you know it's a
Well,
family
I
show.
went there for you.
Camera that you can afford. Hi, everybody just got back from the store run. Yeah, okay. So yeah, you know, so the website hopefully by Christmas will be totally revamped from the ground up. It would still be using WordPress and all that, but we want it as a destination for everybody to come and look at it. And you know that's where you're going to go to sign up for the giveaways,
Hmm.
some promos, some events, all the star party listings in the United States will be there. You know, because it looks like, and let's keep our fingers crossed here,
Hmm.
that star parties in 22 are going to be making a comeback. So,
Certainly hope so.
yeah, NEAF is booked, which is the Northeast Astronomical Forum held up
Hmm.
in Suffern, New York, in I believe it's Rockland County.
Hmm.
Yep. Um, and so that looks like it's booked and it's ready to go. And so I know that Cherry Springs and the Black Forest Star Party for 22 is also booked.
Yep.
Um, I know that the Winter Star Party in February is booked. Other than that, I haven't heard any definite bookings. A lot of people are waiting to see how the winter hits us as far as COVID is concerned, and it'll
Hmm.
be our first winter with all the vaccinations and stuff are in full swing, and so it'll be our first winter. So we're hoping that we have 20 or 30 star parties up on there, including the Peach State Stargaze, Okie-Tex, Winter Star
Yep.
Party, Black Forest, Cherry Springs, Staunton River, all those guys. I'm only doing the ones on the East Coast that I know of off the top of my head. I know that there's plenty of the Nebraska Star Party and all that, so I know there's
Hmm.
a lot more in there. So keep an eye on that. I will definitely do a launch date and I'll put it on YouTube as normal. But let's get to the topic at hand, and that's going to be what telescope should I buy and what camera should I buy for that telescope? Because it's two really different topics of conversation.
Hmm. It's funny that you mentioned that because I was talking to Tegan today, catching up, and he was talking about upgrading the equipment that he's got. His image train. He's got a 4/3 along with inch and a quarter filters, Astrodon filters that he's putting up for sale because he's going to the 2600.
Okay. Yeah.
The mono, and he wants to get the filters we bought, Dan, which is the Antlias,
Oh,
3 nanometers.
for narrowband. Yep.
Yep, and he's
Well,
already got. I think he's got two of them already locked in. He's waiting, I think, on the sulfur, which is
okay.
coming, I think, at the end of this month.
Okay.
Um, but so he's talking about that as well, and I think if he was here, Tegan would also tell you that if you can afford to go bigger and better, bigger is probably not the right term.
Yeah. Because
Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say I didn't mean to cut you off. Um, I was
That's all right.
watching. I was watching. Who was it? Alan Mitchell's. Alan Mitchell has got a huge TikTok following. I don't know
Mm,
how he is brilliant with that because he does a really good job with that. But one of the time he does like a quick Q&A and it has the question on the top and he does a 1 minute thing about discussing that question. And one of the questions were what we were talking about is what telescope I should buy
yep.
for my for myself. And what he said was super important.
Mm,
And the way he said it, and Alan, if I botch it, just you can slap me later. But what he said was that telescopes weren't made for people, for your eyes. They weren't made for that. They were made for the object that you want to see.
hmm.
And that's really, really important thing to kind of realize is because your nice $3,000 refractor is not, and I'm blowing this really long out of proportion, but it's not going to be good or really good for planetary.
Hmm.
You know, and I'm going from opposite ends of the spectrum here. As you can see, the purple in the background from my green screen over there. But you gotta really be totally honest with yourself on what you want to accomplish as a visual or as an astrophotography person. What
Right.
is the end result you want?
Right. Yeah. I mean, if you're just going visual, you could just get a nice go-to Dob. You know,
Yeah,
they are freaking awesome. You
yeah,
know,
sure.
it's one of the best scopes that you can get for visual. You can do a a Schmidt Cassegrain. You can an SCT. You can do something like that. Man, Dobbs are just they're the go-to for visual, man.
Yeah, and I gotta agree with you. The Dobbs are definitely the biggest bang for your buck
Yeah. Hey,
because
you can make one yourself. There's all kinds of plans on the internet for it. All you need is the kits and such, and you can
dude,
buy the mirrors. And
I don't
there's
have
all
time
kinds
to
of
put
things you can do with
anything
a
on a
Dob.
website. I'm not making a Dob, but whatever the case may be, the Dobbs are a really really good way for visual, and
Hmm.
believe it or not, and I know I'm going to be slapped for saying this as well, but for planetary astrophotography, it could happen. Even with a non-guiding Dob, you could do it because you're
Yeah.
doing video anyway, and you're going to chop it up anyway. Who cares if that
Yep.
planet is dragging through the chip sensor? You know, nobody cares because you're going to chop it up into
Yeah.
milliseconds of these things.
Yeah.
So it's going to be great. Hey
Yeah.
Dan,
I
you're right.
watched.
What was it?
Go ahead.
I was reading what Gary said. Dan, you're
Yeah.
right. But with technology these days, I've moved to EAP and imaging.
Yeah.
EAP,
I think he means EAA. I think he means
electronically
EAA.
assisted astronomy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Oh,
it's just a
okay.
typo.
Ooh, you're scaring me. Okay, yeah, yeah. So you
Yeah.
know, Gary, that's a really, really good point. Um, you can get really good EAA with any telescope, but I think it
Hmm.
goes back down to the camera and the scope of how you're going to resolve planets versus deep sky. I think that
Yeah.
they're for me, and tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, that's okay. I've been wrong. I was wrong last week. I could be wrong this week. It's okay. You know, that's what we're here for. We're here to learn from each other, and if we make mistakes, we make mistakes. It's okay, as long as we fess
Yeah.
up and not try to pass it off as you know, as the truth. You know, which is done so often these days. But still, with your 3-inch refractor, even if you're going EAA and you're doing like the fake 5x Barlow or 10x Barlow or whatever you're doing, the digitized zoom type of thing, it doesn't look as good for, as far as I know, for planetary. That's why when I've always done EAA, you know, I would still kind of match the scope and the camera to the object. You know, like I wouldn't, unless I was going deep into the trapezium, I wouldn't be using a Schmidt to look at M42 or a long Schmidt, you know, like a, you know, 10, 12, 14
Hmm.
inch Schmidt. I wouldn't be doing that because it would just, I wouldn't see enough. I would
Yeah.
like a,
You'd have
eight,
to do a 50 panel mosaic.
yeah. And then who wants to sit there for 3 hours watching, and it's kind
Yeah.
of, it's actually kind of cool, but you know, it's cool, but it's to me, it's like li- a thing you do once, and then you say, okay, I did it, you know.
Well,
Um,
that right there, Daniel, is why, and we've talked about this before, but for the people that are in here, that's why I went, with the Schmidt, is because it gave me the ability to do, long focus and wide angle, narrow and wide. I can go 2700 millimeter plus, but I can also put that Hyperstar on there and run at
so
715.
Sounds like a compensation problem to me, but
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah.
but,
Talk to my wife.
What's that?
Talk to my wife.
No,
She'll set you straight.
yes, you will. but yeah. I mean, the 14-inch. I mean, if you've seen the picture, a lot of people have seen the picture. It's a beast. It's
Oh, yeah.
a beast. I mean, the mount is the size of a Coke can. Then you got this 52-pound OTA plus another 30 pounds worth of garbage on it. Not garbage, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's
It's a monster.
beast. Yeah, you can't even see the mount. But a lot of people, at least I don't want to say normal people, but a lot of people won't go out and buy a 14-inch Schmidt. As again, we want to talk about first scopes,
Right.
first camera.
No, that is not your typical first scope.
No, this is advanced user type equipment. Wheelie bars, hyperstars, all these things that people will kind of watch and see. They're really meant for advanced users. I've seen a couple, not a lot. I've seen a couple of kids out of the gate just get a hyperstar and just start taking pictures. They eventually move to the Rasa and then move on from there. But it's interesting how and that goes to what Gary was talking about on how the technology these days have made things resolve so much quicker, faster, and better than they did even 5 years ago.
So he says, I disagree. I use my RCX 416. Is that a 16-inch aperture?
RCX.
Is that a 16-inch mirror?
Yeah.
With the smaller sensor on.
Yeah, but that's a
all
huge
the
light
time for
bucket,
EA.
that RCX. Isn't it? I could be wrong. I could be thinking
That's
about
a Richie Crichton, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
RCX 400. I'm just going to look it up real quick. Now 4,400.
Right. Yeah, 16-inch.
Yeah, it's a huge light bucket. I mean, you're going to, even with the small sensor on that, you're going to get awesome EAA on a 16-inch light bucket. I mean, that's going to be crazy.
Oh, yeah. I'd run my 14 native. I wouldn't even, for doing planetary, I'd take that reducer right off.
Yeah.
I mean, run that image train straight back to a planetary camera, and I probably will be getting one of those atmospheric dispersion
ADC?
units.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be great.
So,
I got mine. Actually, I got mine right here from the last show. I was showing it right here.
Yep.
And it's all set and ready to go with my non-go-to Dob test and see if it's possible.
Well, now here's a question. I meant to ask you this last week. Just a quick one on that. That camera.
Yep.
What is the difference between, in your opinion, between that camera and my 174 mini?
The 174, the chip is huge.
Okay, so I also have the 290 mini.
Well, this is a 290.
That's a 290.
This is a 290.
But now my 290 is not a fat body like that. It's a
Doesn't
long,
matter.
thin.
It's the same chip. It's the same exact chip.
Same chip.
Just they just changed the body. It's the same chip.
So I could effectively use that 290 as my main imaging camera for planetary.
Absolutely.
That's what I figured.
Yeah,
that's what I
absolutely.
figured. I couldn't figure out what the difference was between
They
the
just
short
changed the
spat
barrel
camera.
to make it easier to use as a guide scope. That's the only reason why they
is that
did
the
it.
main reason?
Because it's
I
a
see.
1.25-inch barrel, so you can focus it better. Whereas you just have, well, you'll excuse the ADC, but you just have the 1.25-inch nose piece if you were to use this to go in.
Right, I got you.
And that only gives you about an inch of back travel.
Okay.
So
I don't need to buy another camera. I can just get that dispersion unit. I'm good. $1.25 and I'm in.
yeah, Gary said he uses a 174 on the RCX for EAA. Yeah, that chip is huge. That's why it's $399. That camera, it's huge.
I think it's $499.
No, so
I
it's
think
not
it's
that much.
$4.99.
Is it? It could be. It
I
could
think
be.
it is. I think it's
Well, I know the
$4.99.
178 is $349. So I thought it was
Yeah,
only $50 more, but we could take a look. ASI
I'm
ones.
pretty sure. Well,
You
you
might
can
be
look it up
right.
fast.
I didn't buy it. So the
Yeah, pretty sure it's
174
$4.99.
mm. Just looking it up, of course. Yep. Oh shoot, $5.99 now.
Oh, it's gone up.
It's gone up. The 174 mini is
Yeah, that's the one I
4.99.
got
$4.99 for the mini. I don't
for the
understand
mini,
why it's $4.99 for the mini and five
and
ninety nine
$5.99
is.
for the regular
I
one, the
think
short fat
one's
body.
USB 2.0, one's 3.0. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. That's it.
$100 for a
For
USB
USB
port. That
3.0.
seems like a bit
Yeah.
of a ripoff.
A little bit. That's, well, I'm not going to say where I saw that from. So, yeah, it's only 2.0 on the 174 mini. It's 3.0
Yeah.
on the 174, the 174, the big one, not the regular one, the disc one,
Yeah,
like this.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That seems weird.
yeah, yeah. The USB on mine is a C. It's a USB-C.
Yeah, it's a USB-C, but it's only 2.0.
It's only 2.0.
Yeah, it's only 2.0.
Yeah.
But hey, man, that RCX for EAA is going to be outstanding. I'm telling you. But
Yeah.
back to the listen. I know the hair. I've gotten the I got the Krusty the Clown thing going. It's almost Halloween. It's almost gonna go bye. It's driving me nuts. It woke me up. It woke me up the other night. You know what I did? I sat there and I felt something, and I went to go scratch my ear at night, and I just ended pushing the hair in my ear, and I ended up scratching hair. And I'm like, what the hell is that? So I had to brush all my hair back to scratch my ear. It was that bad. So just pulled the rookie move.
Mark
Forgot to
Ellis.
turn on the power to my camera and the Eagle. It's kind of hard to cool the camera with no power. Well, you know, you
Just
can,
blow on it.
yeah, blow hard. There you go. Here you go. You can get one of the things. You know, get one of these. You can do it, man. You know, but yeah, that's. Hey, listen, Mark.
Oh,
We've all done stupid stuff like that. I mean, my brain fart
hello.
the other day. Oh my! You know, I forgot to turn on everything. I forgot to turn on a camera. I forgot to plug one in. I actually have a comic video coming out on. It's a TikTok on just stupid things that astronomers do, and in the background, it's "Oops, I Did It Again" by Britney Spears. So it's gonna be kind of cool. It's gonna be funny. I can't wait to see it. So yeah, it should be interesting. It's gonna be funny. But yeah,
Oh my.
so one of the things you remember we were talking about what telescope to buy, budget does come into play. Obviously, that's an issue. Not an issue. You know, it's relative to whoever, but you really want to be. You really want to be, like I said before, you really want to be honest about what you want to accomplish. Do I want to do wide field, deep sky? Do I want to take a picture like, where's my mouse? Because I got Jason's picture set up, just happened to have it set up right here. Do you want to take a picture? Oh, it's not Jason's picture. That is.
No, that looks
No.
like the intro.
I just wanted to do the end of that. So if you know the end of the intro, it's Jason's picture.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And if you want to do
Beautiful
a shot
picture.
like that, if you want to do a shot like the one behind me, like that, you know, there are a lot of things to consider. Do you want to do the Andromeda Galaxy? If you want to do the Andromeda Galaxy without doing a you know, a mosaic, and you want to do it in one shot, you gotta really think about what's going to get you there. And there are some tools out there that can help you with this. Let's see. So Gary just said, if I were to start off today with the EAA, I get an Explore Scientific 80 and a 183 and an EQ5. Hell yeah. That's perfect for that medium to large deep sky object stuff, like the Heart Nebula I just showed you, like the Orion Nebula with the Running Man, like the Andromeda Galaxy. Even M13 starts to look pretty cool. There's a lot of stuff. The Trifid, the Lagoon, the Helix. I could go on and on with all these nice, big, deep sky objects that fits perfectly in that 400 to 600 millimeter focal length. That works great.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
One of my favorites is the Veil.
Yeah.
You know, I love the Veil, and it's funny. I was looking at seeing if I can pull this picture up. I just got it on my. Oh, there it is, right there. The Veil. I was looking at this the other day. Just a little sidebar, and let's see if I can actually get it. There it is, right there. Is it going to pull it up big? No, it's not going to pull it up big. Keep talking while I'm doing this.
Oh, okay. I could do that. But there are some tools that you can go out there and kind of use to help you out decide on what kind of telescope you want for certain objects. And I'm going to go to one right now, and it's something that a lot of people on the channel watching know, but I'm just doing this for the benefit of the people that are new that are watching, if there are any. And I'll go to share my page, my desktop real quick. And where is it? Desktop capture, desktop 2, and then quick play. So here you go. This is astronomy.tools, and this is one of the things that you could use, and I'll get rid of the email on you so you can see what's going on. This is one of the tools that you could use to start to frame certain things. Now I'm not getting into flatteners and reducers and all that kind of stuff. I'll show you exactly some of the effects of a reducer and what it could do for you. But this is astronomy.tools, and as you can see, it has a field of view calculator, a stars chart, does clouds, but a lot of people just use the field of view calculator, or any of these calculators are actually really good. When you start getting into astrophotography, you'll start to get into guide scope suitability, CCD suitability, what kind of filters you need, what size, all of that. So we're going to go into the field of view calculator, and there's 3 different modes. There's visual, imaging, and binocular. Now, to this date, I have never used the binocular mode because I don't have any binoculars. I know that's sad to say, I don't have any. The only binoculars I have is those Eclipse views that I bought with the Eclipse in 2017. It came with solar filters on it. I don't know, so I did that. So first thing you want to do is choose an object. And again, remember what we were talking about, and I'm going to pick one of the biggest ones out there just because it shows it a little bit more dramatically. And I'm going to go to M31, and that's the Andromeda Galaxy.
You can see that with the naked eye on a clear night.
Not from Long Island, but
no. In a Bortle 3, Bortle 4, you can see it. If you know where it is, you can see it. It looks like a fuzzy glob.
Bortle 5, I think you could get to.
Yeah. You can see it. I know because I have. And you put a pair of 10 by 50s up on your head like that and point at it, you can actually see it pretty well. Oh, yeah. It's a neat one to point for people that have never done anything. It's to point them and say, "There's that galaxy right there."
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a fabulous one to get people interested in it.
There's a lot of stuff that is deep sky from a semi-decent dark sky. You could see visually without any binocular / telescopic aid. You can see a bunch of stuff. Gary, I waited from 5 to 5:12 waiting for you to open our Zoom meeting. I left after you didn't show. Oops. Okay.
Uh-oh.
By the way, Dan said I said a big no to the trade for my 127 in Common Hunter. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't blame you one bit, Gary. I don't blame you one bit. I would
probably fine.
save my pennies, and if you wanted to later on, get the 152 later on, and
Hmm.
then you'll have a nice setup. You
That
don't.
William Optics one, I've had
Yeah.
my eye on that one for a while.
Yep.
That
Oh
big
yeah.
one, the one,
Oh
the
yeah.
152,
Oh
for the
yeah.
152 from William Optics,
That's a
that great
nice
big one.
chunk of change too. But
$6,000 for that scope.
yeah,
Yeah,
lots of
baby.
fun. Lots of fun.
It's a beautiful scope.
So let's
Yeah.
go back to astronomy.tools. And here is, again, we're going to go into the imaging mode for a second. You can use the visual mode for different eyepieces, but we're going to talk about imaging. So let's go to imaging so you can see some things change. Now you could
I love this
do,
tool.
I love it. It's great. And it's so
I love
easy.
this tool.
You could choose any Messier object you want. You could
Yep.
choose anything in the solar system except for Earth. You can't choose Earth, so don't look for it. Okay?
Why can't I see Earth?
Yeah, so yeah. Anyway,
Oh
or
boy.
you could do an NGC or IC, whatever you're doing. So if I was doing NGC, what am I doing? The Wizard 7038,
Hmm.
and that would be the Wizard. Okay, but we're not
Yeah.
going to do the Wizard. We want something a little bigger, just so we can show the difference for now. And we're going to go to M31, and we'll erase
There
that
you
for
go.
now. Okay. Now you want to take a look at your budget and see where your budget is. Once you got your budget narrowed down, and Scott, feel free to jump in and run over me
Mm.
as I'm talking. That's okay. You don't have to wait for me to stop. But
Okay.
um, once you get your budget locked in for a scope, then you could sit there and say, which telescope am I going to get for that dollar amount?
Hmm.
Okay. Um, and at that point, you got to be brutally honest with yourself that do I need to spend an extra $500 to get something better, or I'm good with where I'm at.
Hmm.
So, and this is how you can kind of judge um, how you could, just as far as framing, what it would look like in your camera. That's all this is doing at this point.
Yep.
So you would choose the telescope, and there is a plethora of telescopes in there from a number of distributors.
Jeez.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. There are hundreds of telescopes in here. It
Yeah.
makes no sense.
Choke a whale.
And if perchance your telescope is not in there, all you have to do is put in the focal length and the aperture, and then you have the
Hmm.
telescope. That's all you got to do. Okay. So for this example, let's do one of the nice, famous kind of short, wide field telescopes is the William Optics Red Cat. So we go all the way down
Yeah.
to the
Just
bottom,
thinking Red Cat.
and we'll go to the William Optics. Where is it? Did I
Yeah.
pass it? GM Red Cat. There it is. Okay, so there's a William Optics. So it populates the focal length and the aperture
Yep.
automatically.
Yep. Yep.
And then the camera. Now, again, comes down to budget. There are cameras from $99 to $10,000 on here. So
Hmm.
you want to make sure that you pick the right one. And just for demonstration purposes, we'll stick with some of the more popular ones. We'll stick with the ZWO line for now. But it has everything: ATIC, Canon, and it's got your DSLRs.
Yeah.
It's got
Everything.
it's got everything. All your QHYs.
All
The
the
biggest ones,
QHYs. Yeah.
biggest ones in here are the QHYs, the Starlight Express, and the ZWO. Those are the biggest
Yeah.
ones. So let's go. I'm just starting, and I'm gonna get my first cool camera of medium price range. That's probably like the 183 or something like that. But it's I think 699.
294. Or is that too
The
much?
294 is about the same price range. 294 is about 999, I think.
Yeah.
But and that's we could do the 294. That's pretty, pretty much the same.
Yep.
Okay. So we're talking $700 for the red cat, $1,000 for the camera.
$3,000 for the mount.
You don't have to do that with the red cat. Red cat, you don't need. With the red cat, you're more than happy of spending $500 on a star adventure and having a day. You don't have to spend $3,000.
No,
now,
I'm just teasing.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, I just want to get it out there for everybody. But the whole thing about this is you don't have to, mortgage your first child to get all this.
Right.
You don't have to do the ZWO2. If you have a DSLR at home already, I'm a Canon guy, so I'll go to my Canon. I'll go to my 6D. Actually, I got the 6D.
Yep. The only downside to that is that it isn't cooled, and you're going to be dealing with noise.
Yes. And please, do not use the dark noise reduction on the camera in the software. Please don't do it.
No.
The biggest reason for me saying this is that it doubles your imaging time. It literally takes a dark at the same exposure as you're taking your light every time you shoot.
Yeah.
So if you're doing a 3-minute exposure, it's going to take a 3-minute dark right after that, and then it's going to save it. It'll subtract it and save it. So one 3-minute shot could take you 7 to 10 minutes, depending on your camera.
Yeah. That sucks.
Yeah, that's not very.
You're nuking that sensor.
Time manager. Oh, forget about that too. Yeah, your dark's not going to be the same because you think about. I don't care what anybody says, and this is a guess on my part, so I could be totally wrong with this, but I'm throwing it out there. If you're taking a 3-minute exposure and a 3-minute dark, your sensor is going for 6 minutes. The inherent thermal noise at 6 minutes is going to be more than your 3-minute shot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my understanding of it. So,
yep.
Because it's not like you're letting the camera cool for a minute and then taking the other 3-minute shot. It's not. It's taking it right after it. So your sensor is just going. And
I want to dovetail on something that you were talking about here in choosing. Well, sorry, that's the cabinet maker in me. When you've settled on the focal length that you want, the scope that you want, and you're going for a camera, wouldn't it be a good idea then to look at cameras that line up well in the CCD inspector?
Yeah, as far as sampling is concerned, absolutely. Now,
and marry up the scope with the camera that way.
So sampling, a couple of things with sampling. Now, everybody could correct me if I'm wrong, which is very possible, but sampling to me, there's undersampling and oversampling, and what undersampling does is the end result of that is blocky stars because your pixels are too big that you don't have enough photons to fill the pixels, and your stars start turning out square because pixels are square, and whatever the case may be, it doesn't have enough resolving power to make a round image. With
easy to spot.
Yeah, super easy to spot. I mean, I have a couple. There is a workaround for undersampling, and it's called drizzling. And it's a software. It's a software package, and basically what it does is it averages out the pixels around it to make a shape.
But don't you have to use drizzling with dithering, right?
Yes. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I was going to get to that. So
my bad.
No. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. No. It's no problem. You have to dither, and we may be going off into a little more of the technical.
We're bunny trailer. Got to kill that bunny.
That's okay. But dithering is where the mount gets moved. Your guiding system moves your mount by a certain number of pixels. Every bit of out of every like frames that you tell it to. So if it's 3 frames, I dither every frame, every single frame I dither. And what dithering will also help you with satellite trails.
Yep.
It'll hold
Tracking
X
problems with the sensor where you get those banding.
Oh yeah. So if you got vertical banding, yeah, or even
Mm-hmm.
horizontal banding,
Wipe that right out.
That'll be wiped out. If you have a rolling shutter and you got some random noise, which a lot of the ZWO cameras have, a lot of things dithering will help you. You don't have to be crazy and dither every 1 frame like I do. You don't have to do it. Although I would tell you, it only takes a couple of seconds per photo. So throughout the course of the night, maybe you're dithering 4 or 5 minutes, so you lose 1 photo if you're doing 5-minute exposure.
Right.
You may as well do it. And then you could take, like Scott said, you could take advantage of drizzling, which then it could average out all those star patterns because it's got information from a whole bunch of different photos that have been moved just a little bit. So it could realize, well, what do I got to do and put in each pixel? It's really smart.
Well, now you know what you might do is use my scope as an example in the photography in the astrophotography tools there, right? Put in that C14 and look at the 2600 mono with the reducer, right? And then look at for the CCD inspector, right? I need to actually bin 2x2 to get it into the green.
Yeah. Yep.
Because
you need
the
bigger
pixel
pixels.
size is the pixel size is 3.74 nanometer.
Okay. And you
They're
need like a 6. I need my camera.
I need to bin 2x2.
Well, you know what? This is going to be a good test. Let's check this out. All right, let's go back to astronomy tools. This will be interesting.
Yep.
Let's go back to astronomy.
While you do that, I'm going to turn on the fan because I'm dying.
No fan. No fan.
What do you guys
I'll turn it
talking
on
about?
low. Don't worry.
Oh, is Eric there? Eric's there. Oh, hold on.
Hey, guys.
I heard the voice from beyond. It happened. Hold on. Let me get Eric here. Hold on a second. I was like, what are you guys talking about? I said, who is that? Who is that? I closed up all the 3s for tonight, so give me a second.
That's fine.
What you talking about, Willis?
What's going on, guys?
3 up. Host,
We're just having fun with
up
the
host.
astronomy tools and talking scopes and how to get somebody into a decent rig for, but anywhere between $3,000 and $5,000.
Sure.
$3,000 and $5,000. We were talking about like $2,000. What are you talking $3,000 and $5,000? So yeah,
Well, I mean, where are we now? We've got $1,000 for the camera. You've got what? Another
$700 for the scope.
$800 for the. So you're
and the Star Adventure.
Right, and then you need a mount.
Okay, so you guys are
Right,
just going
mountain
base
tripod.
You guys
Well,
going base DSLR or?
No. gonna be right around $3,000.
Well, let's go back a second. Well, basically, we brought back an old topic.
Yeah.
That we haven't really spoken
important
about
one.
in a while. About what telescope to get, what camera to get, and how do I come to this decision if budget really is locked down.
If we're strictly talking imaging, right? We're just strictly talking
For right
imaging.
now,
Okay.
yeah. So
Okay.
we're not talking
Photography
we're
and
not talking
EAA.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So and Eric has his Dune shirt on in anticipation for the next
Yes.
7 days.
7
We got
days.
1 week.
We have 1 week from today.
1 week from today, Dune comes out in conjunction on IMAX. What are Ghostbusters? Get that out of here. Get that out of here. What was that guy's name?
So-
Slimer?
Yeah, I don't know who that guy is, but okay. So we're just talking just this imaging.
Yeah, so,
and we're just talking just getting started.
Well, we like went off the beaten path a little bit. We were talking about dithering and drizzling.
Sure.
And then Scott brought up that with his C14, he has the 2600,
Mm-hmm.
but the pixels are, they're small. They're about what 3.6,
3.74 nanometers.
3.7.
So you got to bin.
3.74.
So he's
So you
got a
got to
bin.
Two by
bin.
two.
So he's
Yeah,
got a
you got to
bin.
bin 2x2.
So what were you gonna do?
Same
We
thing
were gonna
with
do
me with the 294, with the 294 mono, the original. When they first set it up. Didn't mean to cut you off there, Dan.
Nice.
But when they first set it up, bin 1 is 8. Is the resolution is 8122 by like
Okay.
4644.
Okay.
But if you want to match that with the 294 MC, you've got to bin 2x2, so you can go down to 4144 by 28 something. So yeah, so that's one thing I had to learn really quick, especially if I wanted to merge or do any type of merging with the two types of camera, with the two camera types, is that I had to bin the mono camera. So now I basically have just set it to bin 2x2, and I've just never looked back. I've just set it that way and just been done with it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and Tegan was telling me that binning in camera is one way that he goes, but he's actually found it to be very useful to just shoot one by one in camera native and then bin in PI.
In software.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know what? To be honest with you, I've never binned in software.
Yeah,
I don't know how. I'll have to figure it out. I'll learn it.
Yeah, he uses it all the time. I'm sure, and not for nothing. Just a quick sidebar. He's got some 1.25 Astrodons that he's looking to offload. Did he talk to you?
He did talk to me. He did talk to me and reached out to me. Okay, cool. But getting back to this,
so basically
what
it
mounts,
came up.
what's the mount first? What's
Well,
the
hold
mount?
on. Well, we came up with. Slow down.
Okay. I'm jumping the gun here.
Well, we came up. We were going to jump into the CCD shootability for a second.
Sure.
And
Yep.
with Scott's setup with the 14-inch, I was wondering personally if you would benefit, and I know what the answer is already, but whether you would benefit from a camera like mine as opposed to the 2600. We were just going to run it through the simulator and see what it comes up with.
With the QHY?
With the
or
QHY, with the big chip and the big pixels. So now the expectation, bigger pixels leads to better sampling with longer focal length. That's a general rule. Doesn't work all the time.
Yeah,
but
because mine are right now they're bloating.
Yeah,
even though
not your stars are bloating.
Well,
they're blocking.
Isn't that?
Do they look like squares, or they look like fat
you know
ovals?
That's one of the things I was just going to say is that I've taken before I actually had to put everything away. When the last images that I was taking M51, I was looking at the stars, looking at the images, and I was getting nice round stars. Things didn't look. I couldn't see blockiness. Now, granted, maybe I needed to zoom in a little bit and do a little pixel peeping, but the images were coming out really nice.
Okay.
So I'm not exactly sure how close I am to that green.
Well,
at one by one.
Let's take a look. And you're using the 0.7, right?
Yeah, 0.7 focal. Yep.
Okay, so 0.7. Oh man, yeah, you're oversand. So you got bloated stars.
That's what I was saying. Bloated.
You got bloated stars. You're way bloated.
But you look at the images and it's tough to see that.
It's easier to see a square star than it is a misshapen round star. Big difference.
Now, the drizzling and dithering will do for undersampling. Will it do for oversampling?
No, it will not.
Yeah. So you have to bin.
Yeah, so you'll have to bin. So once you bin at 2.2, you're pretty close. So I'll let everybody see what I'm looking at. Now, you're not right in the green, but you're better than what you were. So let's see what we're looking at here.
Yeah, but I also changed the seeing to good.
Okay, so now you're in the green. You know, you're gonna have
because
to,
wherever,
going to Florida, you got to change it to okay again. So all the
well, it
humidity
depends
in
on
the
where you
air.
are in Florida.
Yeah.
I've been noticing the seeing conditions down there are actually pretty freaking good. The sky quality is just shy of 21, you know, and
Okay.
it's not bad. It really isn't bad. I'm anticipating it to be not bad.
All right, so let's take a look and see. So here's your 14-inch edge with
Yep.
the 2600 with good seeing and a point 0.7 reducer.
Yep.
Pixel size
Yep.
ideal for good seeing. Now,
Yep.
for most of us like myself, I'm about here on the higher end of here. And
Now it says that seeing is 0.6 versus, yeah, but you see that the difference is 0.6 where it is now is at 0.57. So it's
right,
awfully
it's a
close to
it's a
0.6.
tenth of a pixel off. That's
Yeah.
not a big deal. But what I was looking at before was
Yeah.
not binning.
Oh yeah. No, it goes way down.
Yeah, so not binning. Now you're at 0.28 arc seconds per pixel, which is not
Yeah.
good. And Eric, I'm sorry. Something happened to your vocals again. There we go. You're back.
Did it?
No, it's not you.
Okay.
It's not you.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
That's fine. That's fine.
But everybody heard you except for us. So yeah.
Gary, just real quick. Yeah, I kind of do. Just to answer a quick question for him. I kind of do miss my refractors, but
Yes,
it's
he
fine.
cries every night. He calls me at like 10 o'clock every night, and he comes up and he's like got tears in his eyes. He's like,
Oh,
he's
Rolling
like,
into the
God.
fetal
I
position.
didn't show my
sucking his
refractor.
Oh,
I should have
my
listened to all you guys.
Oh God. Whatever.
10:01, like
Jeez.
clockwork. He calls me.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
I'm just joking.
Hey,
He doesn't
Cisco,
call
how are
me.
you, man?
But yeah,
Oh,
so
jeez.
actually, it's funny, but you always have sellers and buyers remorse at
Sure.
the same time. So
Sure
it's
you
sometimes you make a decision with your rig, and I'm at the point now after talking to Simon for an hour, I'm ready to go back to side by side. So because what I said originally was right. I'd listened to some other people that told me I was wrong, and I should have just went with my gut.
Uh-huh.
And what was said to me, and I won't mention who said it, but what was said to me was that you have more of a chance hitting your peer with your longer scope on side by side than you do stacked.
Mm-hmm.
So let's think about this for a second, though. Let's think just simple math, simple
Yeah.
geometry here. This is very
Yeah.
simple stuff. If you got a pole in the middle and your scope almost hits that pole when it's on top, it
Yeah.
will have a lot less of a chance hitting that pole that doesn't move when you move the center over, because it's just going to be on this side. It's not
Yeah.
going to go this way.
Yeah.
So
And that
so,
mount should have terminals anyway. Terminal point where it won't go. You
But-
should be able to set it so it
Oh
won't
yeah,
go any
oh
further.
yeah. There's mount limits
Right.
for
Yeah,
it.
that's what I'm gonna say.
The
That's what I'm
limit.
gonna say. You should have limits on
No,
the
there's
mount.
there's mount limits with the EQ mod. I could set that. That's not a problem. But the reason why I moved into stacked because I was told, and I was told
Yeah.
just the opposite of what I thought, and I should have just stuck with what I knew mathematically made sense. And so now I think tomorrow I'm gonna take my whole thing apart again and put it back the way I had it in side by side, and then I'll reset
You know
the
what
mount.
they say about opinions.
Yeah. Well, we won't go there. You already dumped the AS word already once tonight. So yeah. So this is a family show, right, Eric?
Exactly.
I was
So-
just reading the comments. It
For
just
some reason, when Scott's on the show, it goes letter ratings like every hour it changes. So it goes from NC-17 to R. We haven't got to X yet, so hopefully we never get there. But anyway, going back to the astronomy.tools. Now we wanted to go see, and I'll even leave it at 2.2. And I'm just curious to see how it would do with a bigger pixel and a bigger chip, because that's what I have. So let's go to the QHY 16200. All right, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
There you go.
But that's still binning 2 by 2. Put it 1 by 1.
It's gonna drop, but it still doesn't drop as far.
No. It's
the
0.45 versus 0.28.
Yeah, exactly. It's double the resolution on the camera. And that's due to the bigger pixels and the bigger chip.
Yep.
So that being said, you're in a better position with bigger pixels with the longer focal length. And I think I lost Eric again.
Yeah, you did.
But
I gotcha.
but you know,
as I don't know why that does it only to you. It only does. I don't know. It's something it's nothing you did. It's something I'm doing. Whenever I go to my desktop, it cuts you off.
It's okay.
Yeah. It's not intentional, man. You know I love you, bro.
I know that. I know, man. It's all good. But you know what? I wish ZWO would come out with a bigger pixel chip. I mean, a bigger pixel camera. You know, for the longer focal length, you know, scope users. Yeah, it would be nice. But...
You could always get that nice medium format, you know, that they're coming out with. Probably going to be about 10 grand, but
yeah, no kidding. My gosh.
I remember, you know, Tegan showing me how in PixInsight that you can bin in there 2 by 2, you know,
you can.
with
Absolutely.
shooting native.
Yep.
You know, and you can
it's
adjust
called upscaling.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can upscale the image and make sure, you know, everything fits, and then do a star alignment.
But, you know, even that, I remember that the images that I was looking at, the stars looked really good. I don't...
Yeah, but the thing is, I would like to see the pictures. If you could send it to me, We could compare them to other images. But I think what you will see is that the stars are just too big.
Mm-hmm.
They're not as small as they should be. And I think that takes, when you have larger stars and brighter stars in an image, it kind of detracts from what you really want the person to see.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So imagine doing and we talk about on the tech all the time because it's like the biggest offender of any star anywhere. It's like you just want to smack it out of the. But the whole thing is that imagine bloating that star on the horse head.
Yeah.
The only thing that you're going to be looking at is on the tech because your eyes are going to be drawn straight to it.
Right.
And you don't want that. On the tech's supposed to be big. But if it's overbearingly overtaking your entire picture, then, you know, and that's just one example. There are other examples out there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's gone full Rosie O'Donnell on you. You don't want that.
But anyway.
Oh my. Scott's like the comic relief tonight.
I know, right? I know. So,
well,
but,
and,
okay,
you know,
but if we're talking getting back, you know, just choosing its scope, getting started and stuff like that. Realistically, how many people will consider a 14-inch SCT?
No.
Yeah, we spoke about that first thing. Nobody.
Yeah.
That's why we started with the Red Cat. We started with the Red Cat. And, you know, so we sat there and we looked. And we took a look at some cameras. We looked at the 183 to start, you know, which is more or less your medium valued when you just get into cooled. You know, $799, $899.
Yeah, it was my first camera.
Mine
my
too.
first dedicated, you know, cooled camera was a 183, and the first thing that the first thing I learned about because I didn't expect it was amp glow. on that thing.
Yeah.
What is
Amplo
this?
was just,
What is
what
this?
is this? Where's this star?
I'm
But
telling you.
yeah,
It's
but
it gets kind of scary. You're thinking there and you're looking at it and you're like,
Mhm.
you see this blasting flashlight looks like,
I know.
and you're like, oh my God, what is this? I
I
mean,
know.
what did somebody like flash like that Celestron light at the side? You're just sitting there like this. It's
Yeah.
really bright, and you see it, and you'd be surprised on how many threads that are out there still
Oh yeah.
Yeah, about
regard-
Ampglow.
about Ampglow and what the hell is this and how do I get out of my picture?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's still lots of them out there
Yep.
from new people just getting started that they just don't understand, they just don't know about it or expect it. And they're like, is there something wrong with my camera? Did I get a bad camera?
Oh my God, I'm sending it back.
I'm sending this back.
Who else is
Yeah,
a
well,
lot of other people
calibration
bumped on.
frames. That's one of the big things. That's why people talk about they see these problems with their cameras, their imaging. Go onto YouTube, search for calibration frame videos.
Yep.
Speaking of calibration frames,
Uh-oh.
I got the RASA out, and I'm imaging yesterday, and so far everything is fine. But question about calibration frames. Usually, when I'm thinking of when I'm doing this, I'm thinking the image is going to be pretty much all gray.
Right.
And I am using a dew shield. I have a metal dew shield, an aluminum dew shield, and I
Right.
am using the Spico flat, so I'm using a flat panel and stuff like that. But this is what, if I share my screen here really quick, this is what my flats look like. If I go back here,
Let me make you.
It should be about
And-
40% on your histogram.
Oh.
this is what it looks like, here you're getting this. And I'm about 40%. I set the SI-Air, it does the auto calculation. So it was doing 9 in just about under 10 seconds. But it's just, this kind of, and this always happens. It doesn't matter if I'm using the dew shield, if I'm using the edge, for example, or anything like that. It just seems that I end up getting this area around here, where it's dark here, and you figure this should be all filled, right?
Yeah.
You would think
Yep.
it would be all filled, but it's something where I'm like, why does it do that? and I still haven't figured out
And
exactly
that's almost a
why.
10-second
Flat
shot.
Yeah, yes. So it's like it's
What's
not
your ADU?
filling up. When I did these, the ADU was probably, I think it was around 34, 35,000.
Sounds a
Yeah,
little high.
that sounds like enough.
Sounds a little high, actually.
Because it was doing auto. It was doing auto.
Yeah.
Okay.
The automatic choice. And but yeah, I want to say it wasn't over 40. I know that for sure. But if I recall, I think it was around that 35,000 ADU.
Okay.
This is sitting on top of the dew
thi-
shield.
And this is
Yes,
which,
yes,
which
and
scope again? Is this the?
This is the RASA. This is
the
the
RASA.
RASA. Yeah, this is the RASA 8, and it's sitting on, and the flat panel is sitting on top of the aluminum dew shield.
Sure.
And I've got this.
Have you
and I'm
tried
using it, and
increasing?
I wonder. That shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter.
Have you tried increasing the brightness of the panel?
I don't think that's it. Look at how dark that is.
That didn't. Yeah, I tried.
Yeah, I
Even
don't
when I
think that's
increased
it.
the brightness of the dark panel, it did make a difference.
You're making me look on the web now. I'm sure you've looked on it. But
Yeah, it's just one of those quandaries, that I just need to probably try to understand. Is how can I fill the entire? What am I doing wrong that I'm not filling up the entire sensor?
Yeah, I mean that's crazy. That's kind of. I'm looking at flats, and they are darker in the corners.
Yeah.
But
not that dark.
Not that dark. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I I'm looking at it on cloudy nights right now.
Okay, I'll just go ahead and stop sharing now. But that I wanted to share that with you guys and
Yeah,
get your
please, if you're getting any
yeah.
flats,
That's,
That almost
but
looks like the edge of the mirror.
that's what I was
yeah,
thinking.
it could be. I don't know. I honestly, like I said, it's a head scratcher for me.
Have you tried?
So
Have you tried bringing the mirror forward?
The mirror.
no, the mirror forward. No,
What do you mean?
on the
Yeah,
Rasa.
the
What do you
main
mean?
mirror. Yeah, bringing it forward up into the scope, seeing if you can fill that space up a little bit. I'm
Yeah,
wondering
but
if you're going to see any
move the
difference if
mirror
you move
up,
the mirror.
then you're changing the focus.
Focus. Did you change the focus? Aren't you?
Yeah.
And you need to be actually in focus for flats.
In focus.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you need to
Yeah,
pretty
I
much keep
just didn't-
everything the way it
yeah.
is. Yeah.
I just my brain didn't go down that far. Yeah, I needed to follow that path all the way through.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because I saw the outside of that, and it looked like the edge of the mirror. I'm wondering why it's doing that.
Yeah, and yeah, it's like I said, it's a head scratcher.
You know,
So
that's
it's one of those
interesting.
things.
You know who you may want to hit up like Tim Connolly.
Yeah, TJ.
TJ.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
You might want to hit him up because I really don't have, I hate to say it, but I don't have a frame of reference for that because I don't have a Rasa.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And he
You know,
and he has the Hyperstar. So
Yeah, so he could
I can reach
definitely
out to
help
him.
you out with
Yeah,
that.
and I'll even post it on my on the Rasa group, on the Facebook Rasa owners.
Yep.
That I know Chuck Ayub's on there and several others. So I'm just gonna post that and just get some takes, just get some thoughts from others on their flats and what they've used.
You know what you could do? Just email me the picture. I'll throw out some lifelines out there as well for you because I'm interested
Yeah, that's
to,
cool.
to see
Yeah.
as well. So send me the picture.
Now, okay, another question that I had, speaking of calibration frames.
No more Rasa questions. Nobody has
No more
Rasas
Rasa.
except for you.
Yeah. No. This is related. This is related to darks.
Okay.
How critical is it that your dark exposure time is equal now to your light? Now this is coming from, okay, if your dark exposures are slightly longer,
Okay.
like say 300 seconds versus your light frames are like maybe 180 or 200 or 120 seconds.
Not a
Does
problem.
does it make that big of a difference?
Now,
I shot straight 300 second for darks.
so
Yeah, because that's what I'm doing right now, and I'm doing 300s, and my images that I was taking are like either 120 or 180.
and
for
that's
example.
fine as long as when you're processing, and because I know you guys know this, so I'm going to say this to everybody else. As long as you click in PixInsight, optimize darks.
Optimize darks.
You have to optimize darks, and what it will do, as long as your dark is longer than your light, it can mathematically back step the noise. It can't forward step the noise. It can't see into the future. So you can't take a 10-minute light and a 1-minute dark and say, hey, just do this. It's not going to happen.
Gotcha.
So you got to optimize your darks. And then once you have them...
in order to optimize your darks, do you not need to also do bias?
Well, you should have bias subtraction on your darks.
Even though, because for the most part, I'm so used to with using these CMOS cameras, just doing my flat darks.
Right.
But in order to optimize, I still should consider doing biases as well.
Not if you're doing flat darks.
Okay.
Not if you're doing flat darks. If you're doing flat darks, you're fine.
Okay.
Just keep on doing what you're doing. You don't have to do flat darks, bias, lights.
Right.
You don't have to do that.
That's like it would be a bit of overkill. Right.
You got to remember. I'm thinking CCD land. That when you're CCD, you do take bias, and you subtract the bias from the dark.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
What Syntho's asking? Whatever happened to my ASR Plus videos? I haven't.
slowly but surely coming.
They're sitting. They're sitting in here on my phone. They're sitting. They're sitting on my phone, and I have to finish up a couple things because I had some problems with the ASIR Plus. When it was doing, and I think I even shared with you, like the first time I tried to do a Meridian flip with my AVX,
Yep.
and how
And
it didn't do
go.
anything.
The pseudo Meridian.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm actually, gonna go back out and I should. I need to. To be honest with you guys, sometimes I know I need to do them, but sometimes I just get, oh man,
I don't want to do it.
I don't want to do it.
I do.
I'll just be honest with you. But I know that there's some that can appreciate what I'm trying to do, and I appreciate the support, and and I am going to do them. It's just life gets in the way, and sometimes you got so many things going on. It's just like, okay, and it's kind of hard when you have young ones, that teenagers and young ones, and trying to get dad's attention, and all you want to do is just, can I do my video? And then you end up, then I have to end up doing my video, like it's some obscene, hour, because while everyone else
That's
is
what
asleep.
Grandmothers are for. Send them off to grandmas.
Well, unfortunately, Grandma lives down in Texas.
Even better. That you got the whole weekend.
There you go. There you go.
It is.
Yeah, I'm working on doing one as well. It's still sitting in my closet of death. My ASIR Plus is still in there, unboxed, since I almost broke it on the unboxing. I just haven't. I don't have all the. I want to put this thing all together first before I kind of play around with it. I'm waiting on some stuff from Deep Sky Dad.
Okay.
So I bought my third EAF.
I'm actually thinking of getting I'm actually thinking of getting one more because I got the Rokinon and EAF setup, the Rokinon stuff, and with the EAF, and I want to make it its own standalone setup, so I don't have to take off my other EAFs off my other scopes, and just be dedicated
you don't want
to
to do
this.
that. I mean,
So
just $199.
$9. I know.
You can do it on bread for a year. She'll never know.
I know. Actually, I know. And that's actually what I was probably gonna. I was gonna just. Yeah, I've got bread, so
$10 a month for the rest of your life.
I
know. You should be able to find one on cloudy nights.
Yeah.
They're all over the place now. I mean, if the boats ever park in San Francisco and start getting all the stuff from China into the country, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a problem. DeSantis has already opened up all the ports, in Florida.
Yeah,
said, come on
but
down
nobody's
to Florida.
waiting in Florida. Yeah. They're not gonna go around the Gulf of Mexico in October. It's not gonna happen. It's typhoon and hurricane
sit
season.
out there and do nothing for the next 3-4 months.
They've been doing nothing for 3 months anyway. But
But Syntho, just FYI, I'm actually using the ASIR Plus on the roster right now, so I am actually using it to see how it works. And right now, just spoiler alert, with the exception of one minor thing that's not a big deal, it's just fine.
Yeah,
it's great. It's great. It's just basically just like the Pro or anything else. The only minor thing that I'm having an issue with that's really not a big deal is that if I put it on station mode to use my home Wi-Fi, for some reason my Apple devices won't connect to it. However, my BlueStacks, if I'm using BlueStacks, it'll connect to it just fine. So basically that's an Android emulator. It works just fine, but it's not a big deal for me, to be honest with you, if I really look at it, because I'm hardwired. So who cares?
Well, I'm wondering if it changed the IP address on you.
You know what? And I
Mhm.
even typed in, the IP address because you can look up the
Yeah,
IP
sure.
address when it's in station mode.
Yep.
And yeah, and I actually typed it in, but it still can't communicate. However, if I'm using BlueStacks and
It's
I'm
just fine.
typing and I ping it and I ping that actual IP address, it works just fine. It's
That's
just for
weird.
some reason on my iOS devices it doesn't work. But it's not a big deal for me. I mean, the biggest thing that'll be the big bonus for me to having that ASI Air Plus and having the Wi-Fi, the external Wi-Fi antenna, is when I go away from home.
Right. Exactly.
When I'm away at a dark site and when I'm using the ASI Air Plus's own Wi-Fi natively, not
Yeah.
when I'm in station mode.
Yeah.
And from
Sentinel
what I
actually
can see,
said
that
that he has the same problems with the station mode. So
yeah,
you're not the only one. So apparently,
yeah,
I can't wait to hook this thing up to my EQM35 and my little
hmm
cameras, because
hmm
that's what this is going to be for. This is going to be for this little kind of vacationing thing
yeah,
that,
yeah,
a camera lens, an ASI camera, an EAF focuser, and
hmm
the ASI Air on the little EQM35, and that's it.
exactly,
And that's all it's going
exactly.
to be for. I just want to do it because, number one, being on the show, I should know a little bit about it because it is one of the top selling astrophotography utility pieces of hardware that's out there right
Yeah,
now.
it is.
And number two, I do a lot of astrophotography classes in New York,
hmm
one-on-ones, and people do have it, and I can get through it, and I can wing it. And
hmm
I'm not a computer moron, nor I hope I'm not an astrophotography moron. But
No, you're fine.
I could wing it, and I could get through it from talking. You know, there are times where I've texted you, Eric, while I'm
Yeah,
doing a class, and I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah. You
dude,
have.
what the hell is going on with this? I don't
So
know.
this is- yeah,
There are times that like some things you just got to think a different way or just know how things work with different operating systems.
oh yeah,
That
for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's definitely interesting. It's a lot of fun, and I can't wait to have it hooked up too. So I'm glad you're having some success with it.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. As a matter of fact, if you guys don't mind, I'll share it with you for my first pictures, my first real
sure,
pictures that I'm doing.
yeah, absolutely.
They're still unprocessed, but like I
That's
said, they're
okay.
still sitting there on the flash. They're just sitting there on the drive. But let
That's
me
fine.
go here to and we go to the plan
You
and
already started doing some M42, huh?
yeah,
There you
and
go.
this is with the NBZ.
Oh, really? Oh, good.
This is with the NBZ, and this is 120 seconds. So what I'm planning to do
Man, that
is,
right, man. You need to go down to 60, bro.
what do you mean?
You're gonna
What do you
blow
mean?
out the trapezium.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna, probably drop it down and just take, into what you guys were telling me yet, just on Wednesday, and what Sean was saying, just take a bunch of them
Yeah,
and
I think he said
go
10-second
nuts.
shots, and it
Yeah,
looks great.
yeah, and yeah,
Or
just go nuts.
you could do the Chuck Ayub trick
hmm
with the HDR composite,
Okay.
Yep.
and that's a way to do
So
it
you don't
too.
blow out the core.
Yep. Well, it masks out the core a little differently. It's interesting.
And
And what is
and
that?
this is Sharpless 157. This is
Oh,
actually
you
that's the
started
lobster
with the
claw.
Sharpless catalog. Okay,
Yeah, this is that's the lobster claw.
gotcha,
And there's
gotcha.
there's the bubble.
Yep.
Yeah. So and
And that's at
there's
400
a
millimeters. Huh?
cluster.
That's
Yes.
the Rasa, huh?
Yep. This is with the Rasa. If I annotate, yeah.
Yep.
So yeah. So bubble 7538. Yeah. You got another sharpless there, and a star cluster, an open cluster 7510 right there, and there's
That's the lobster.
the
Yeah.
lobster right there. And yeah, and this is with the NBZ. So as you can
Nice.
see, this is 300. This is 3
3 minutes.
minutes.
Yep.
This is 3 minutes, 180 seconds. So I'm actually going to see just experiment and crank it up a little bit and go up to 300.
Okay.
and see how that looks.
Go to 5
If
minutes.
not, go to 5 minutes and see how that is. But to your point, yeah, with M42, I definitely need to dial that back a
Yeah,
bit.
at F2, man, you're gonna.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do. I need, yeah, because
Now you can still use all that data. That's not all
oh
crap
yeah, this
data.
is no
Use
no
all
no
that
no. This
data.
this is good stuff. This is good
Yeah.
stuff.
All you need
But
is a couple of shorter exposures, and then put that in the HDR composite.
mm-hmm,
It will mask out the center
mm-hmm.
automatically,
Gotcha.
and all of a sudden you'll see the trapezium.
Okay. Okay.
There's a sequence, and I'm gonna screw this up. I think when you do the HDR, the
Mm-hmm.
longer exposure frame should be on the top, and the lower one should be on the bottom. Look
Okay.
it up. I'm not 100% sure on that. There's a sequence that you have to do it. The, there's an order, and it's not
Okay.
normal. I'll look it up real quick. I know I have
Yeah.
the book.
Because if you can recall, when I was sharing with you one of my other shots with and this was with the 533, and I believe this is with the L Pro. And I believe, and
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah.
also, and this is with the Rasa. This was with the Rasa. However, this was like maybe a 5 minute shot. You
Yeah,
know,
I mean, but
and you
look at all that
saw,
data, man. That's awesome.
yeah, but there was some great data. But you see how the because everything was so blown out and overexposed, how that halo, you know,
Oh
came
yeah, that
over.
halo and
So
with the
yeah,
with
the
the
Rasa.
stream,
Yeah, with with my
the
cable,
string,
so you
yeah,
can
the
see
cable.
so yeah. But I am very curious. Right now, I want to actually take I want to take a 5 minute one just to see what it looks like in my next plan, and then go down to like shorter exposures. But yeah, to you guys' point, 30 seconds, stuff like that. That's probably going to be where I need to be, and just take just a ton of them.
And
So.
look at it. It's the HDR.
Yeah, no guiding needed there.
No, not when I'm doing 30 seconds. Oh no, nope, won't need it at all.
Yeah, so I was right.
So,
So when you do the HDR composition, they should be in order of exposure time with the longest exposure first. So your longest one should be
Gotcha.
on the top, your shorter one should be on the bottom. I knew there was something weird about it. Normal people would
Okay.
put the shorter ones on top. It'd be 10, 20, 30, 1 minute, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's 1 minute, 30, 20, 10.
Going down.
So,
Okay.
yeah. So,
So instead of increasing, it's going
yeah,
decreasing.
so the layers, how it does the 30 on top of the 60, the 20 on top of the 30, the 10 on top of the 20.
Okay.
So you get the dimmer stuff on the top.
Top. Right. I hear you.
So it's
So
really,
cool.
really cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that being said, so telescopes, just to recap a little bit, when you're
Yeah.
thinking about buying your first telescope or your rig, I think, again, just be really honest on the end result you want to get. What you're imaging, are you doing deep sky? Are you doing planetary? There's the right tool for the right job.
Yep.
And if you don't know what the right tool is to get your result, hit any one of us up on AstroWorld. You could do info@astroworld.com, or Eric or Scott or Dan at astroworld.com.
Yeah.
And ask us questions.
If you're doing planetary, one thing you might want to do is maybe consider, instead of jumping right into an SCT, maybe consider a Mac.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nice and
Because
slow.
nice and slow,
Yep.
and you don't have to worry about collimation
Nope.
with a Mac. So that's something, because a Mac is usually about usually like F15.
Well, it goes anywhere
When it
from like
usually-
12 to 17, somewhere around
Yeah.
there, the starting
Yeah,
point.
somewhere around there. So so it's nice and slow. You just put on a two Barlow,
Yep.
and
And
have some
shoot
fun.
away. Yep.
Yeah, have some fun.
Because then you're starting at literally F30. if you're at F15.
Yes, exactly.
So, I mean, that's one of the things inherent with planetary. The problem with planetary is the things are really small, but they're really bright.
Yes.
And so they're super bright, and you got to kick that brightness in order to get the resolved, detailed images that you want. You got to kick that brightness down, and the only way to do that is to make your telescope slower in an F ratio and get that to over f20, 25, 30.
Yep.
And so you'll be able to do that. Not only does that lower the brightness of the object, it also increases your image scale of the object. So the object looks bigger. You're doubling the magnification.
Yeah.
But you're also dimming it, which is two really good things when you're dealing with small, bright objects.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So remember, be honest about what your end result is going to be. Take into consideration your budget so you don't get divorced really quick. And just work within your budget, because it's not an insurmountable mountain that you can't get across. If I only have $1,000, well, I only have $1,000. Do I have a camera at home? Yeah, I got a DSLR. Boom, that saves you $1,000. So, so there are ways around it. And if you want some insight and you want some thoughts on it, again, we're all at everyone's disposal. Feel free to hit us up on Facebook, on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, whatever we're looking at. Just come and hit us up, even on the email, like we said before. And I'll put it right across Eric's face right there again for you. There you go. That's it. That's the website and the generic email. And if you want to talk to any of us privately, just put our first name in front of info and you'll get in contact with us.
Yeah, absolutely. I love answering questions.
Yeah, me too.
Me too. People shoot questions. Hey, I may not know the answer, but I've got great friends over here that can help us out.
I mean, I always talk to Eric regarding Eric and Simon and Jason when he's not either on vacation or traveling halfway across the planet to go to a job. But anything ZWO, I talk to those guys, because the only thing I have from ZWO are cameras. That's it. I don't have anything else. I don't have focusers. I don't have ASIR. I don't have anything to do. I think I have an adapter for a camera. That's a ZWO thing, but that's it. I don't have anything else. So those guys are the go-to guys for the ZWO stuff. Now, for any other stuff, I am the mishmash guy. I have the stuff of everything. I have SBIG, QHY, Moonlight. I mean, I got all this stuff. Isato, Primaluce, all this kind of stuff. I got 18 different things on one thing. So I like to have a variety. I do.
Right.
But
there it is.
But that being said, we have a lot of semi-intelligent beings on this channel. And we could figure out any problem that anybody has throughout all of us, I think.
I'm sure I've got an AP for Dummies book, because that's what I use. That's my Bible.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You're talking about, limited intelligence.
This is an AP for Dummies, but this is what I was using to verify the HDR composition, was RBA's book. And that guy, his book is awesome. It's great. Check it out. And just so you know, I don't know if I told you. I think I mentioned it on Wednesday, but Camera Concepts is getting 2 of those harmonic drives from.
Oh, really?
From Sharpstar.
From Sharpstar.
Yeah,
I'd be interested. Yeah, if you ever get a chance to, if you guys get a chance to ever open one up, just to and set it up,
it's gonna be opened up, and it's gonna be set up, and it's gonna be on the floor, because I want to see how somebody makes a harmonic drive for $2,800 retail.
I'm telling you, man.
That I want to see, and I'm gonna take one home, and I'm gonna play with it.
Do a review. Do something with it, for sure.
It would be nice to compare with the rainbow mount. that
Yeah.
Scott has. If you know, when he gets set up and down in Florida and settled, it'd be interesting to compare the two because Sharpstar has been a little bit secretive on the specs of this mount.
Okay.
Not very transparent on PEC, on guiding, on accuracy. So I'm curious to see how it holds up under real world situations, not a static room.
Yeah.
Because and I don't like to blackball any company because I think they all are going through their own things. But after the FRA 600 and the issues that they came out with the too fast and the chromatic aberration and stuff like that, they got some damage control to do, and I think they're going to get through it.
Yeah.
With if this mount comes through and the CDK that they're coming out with in the future,
Hmm.
that could really overshadow any issues they've had
That they had,
with
yeah,
the
with the
600,
600.
as long
Yeah.
as they're as quality as the 400, because the 400 is just lights out, outstanding from many
Yeah.
different aspects, and also
Right.
the 180, the FMA 180, and a couple other things that they've come out. Really great products, but
Yeah.
you know, I think that they went up so fast and they came out with something really quick, and now I think they're stabilizing. So I think they're going to be coming out with good stuff. But I would really like to see how it compares to either I'll talk to Tom because he's got the Hobum, and Scott who's got the you know
The rainbow.
rainbow, and
The RST 300. Yeah.
put them all up against each other. You know,
That'd be
It'd be
interesting.
Well, I'm interested to see what the mount capacity is, what the
Yeah.
payload capacity is.
Me too. I mean,
Yeah, I'm very curious on that.
it's very sketch right now. So
I don't know how they can they can build a amount like that for under $3,000 that can support over, you know,
No, I think
50
it's
kilos.
gonna be. I think it's gonna be like what is
Yeah,
it? The
I think it's gonna be
300
light.
rainbow.
No, the 300 is the big one. The
I'm sorry.
RST 135 and
The
135.
135E.
135.
Yeah, they
135.
have I think they're like a
It's like
35 pound or
Yeah.
40-pound payload.
yeah.
Yeah, I think
That's what I
you're right.
think that it's gonna be. It's gonna be that mid-range kind of EQ6R type weight capacity.
Yeah. Because
But-
anything heavier, a heavier payload than that, man, for that kind of price, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd be a little skeptical,
Yeah. All
you
of
know.
a sudden,
But for
you're
under
guiding
three,
Yeah, you're guiding your 11-inch SCT, and all of a sudden you hear Yeti in the background. you know, that's not good.
no,
Yeah,
it
so
is not. Yeah, so no, I think it'll be a mid to low payload
who's
capacity.
Papa Bear? Who's Papa Bear?
I don't know. That's a new one.
I don't know who
Greetings.
Papa. Hi, Papa Bear.
Hey there.
I want to say I should know you though, because I want to say I've seen the name before. I could be wrong, but is this the
I don't
one
know.
you guys are referring? I think Senthil is sending a picture across or a link. Just in time, I have a question. I'm new to astrophotography. Sure,
Oh,
you
absolutely.
came at the 11th hour,
Yes.
but we're here for you, Papa. We're here for you.
Yeah, we're here. So shoot a question by all means. And if not, shoot us an email. Shoot us an
wait for the
email.
question.
But I'll wait for the question. Yeah, but if not,
These are the times where somebody says they're new and they drop a bomb on you, and we're all three of us are like, "What?"
The rabbit hole is deep. The rabbit hole is wide.
Yeah, Papa Bear, you're gonna need a wider hole, like don't get stuck like Winnie the Pooh, you know. Yeah, we'll wait a couple of minutes for the question, and we'll
Yeah,
see. 'Cause
that's
that
fine.
will be one of the last questions of the night, I think. But while we're waiting, 1 week to go, man. 1 week to go. been
I
talking
can't
about
wait.
this since
I cannot
1987.
wait.
I've been talking about this
Yeah.
for 34 years. This movie, this
I,
remake,
yeah. I just really hope it's
and
good.
and
I
it's
really
already
hope it's
out
good.
in Europe.
Oh, it is.
It's already
Any
out.
reviews?
There are
Reviews?
reviews,
And
and generally positive.
okay.
That's what the wording is. Generally positive
Okay.
because of Denis Villeneuve.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because of his direction and the climactic sequences and the scenery is just
Mm-hmm.
unbelievable from what they're
Okay.
saying. So they didn't really get into. I don't think they can, but they didn't get into the storyline. But it's generally positive. So I'm thinking Rotten Tomatoes probably 80 plus.
If it's an 80 plus, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd
So
be awesome. And so I'm definitely gonna go and see it in the theaters. But
me too,
then
bro.
it'll be
Me too.
it's also but it's also nice that after I go see it in the theaters, I can come back home.
And go
I can
see
watch
it on
it
HBO
again
Max.
in HBO Max. So that's kind of nice.
Telling you. I mean, I'm going IMAX. I haven't seen an IMAX
Oh heck
yet.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm going IMAX. It's gonna be sick.
With that kind of a movie, that's the only way to go.
Yeah,
With that type of a movie,
unbelievable.
you don't go see a rom-com in IMAX,
No,
or
no.
anything like
Let me go see
that.
Harry Met Sally in
Exactly,
IMAX.
exactly in IMAX. No,
Oh,
IMAX
we got the
wasn't built for that.
question. We got the question
All
came
right.
through. So I purchased a 224 color cooled camera and the Air Plus, but I was told that they can. Yep, they're exactly
Can't
right.
use them together.
ZWO
cannot.
ASI Air will only work with ZWO
With
cameras
ZWO.
and DSLR. That is it.
Nikon and Canon
That's
DSLRs.
it. No Sony and no
No
mirrorless.
Sony.
Yep.
So,
And no mirrorless right now.
so the whole thing, you're exactly right, Papa. Whoever told you that is 100% correct. You cannot
Yes.
use them.
Yes. Yeah,
if you're gonna-
the ASI Air is not vendor agnostic or anything like that. It's strictly ZWO and specific Canon and Nikon DSLRs.
It's all proprietary. So,
Yes, it is.
so
Yes, it is.
now if you intend to stay with the QHY, you now
Get an
come to
Eagle.
my world. And my world is the Prima Luce Eagle, which is about 3 times the price of the ASI Air Plus.
Oh, easily
For
that
the,
much.
no, for the entry, the LE is 845.
Oh, the entry level, yeah. Not the Pro.
The best one is that now on sale for $19.99 for the 4 Pro.
Yeah.
But that being said, you cannot use a QH. That's why I don't have ZWO main imaging cameras. I have QHY, and I use Nina and Sequence Generator Pro on an Eagle or a laptop. So Scott's the same way, even though Scott has ZWO imaging cameras, but chooses not to use the ASI Air for his own personal reasons. And
I wanted the
again,
full onboard computer.
yeah. So well. In all fairness, the ASI Air Plus and the Pro and the first generation is an onboard computer. It's just not a Windows computer. That's the,
Right. It's a Raspberry
that's the
Pi,
difference.
right?
Yeah, it's a Raspberry Pi. But
Yeah.
you know what? 2 of the 3 renditions will plate solve, will autofocus, will do, it'll do everything for you. It'll polar align. It will do everything for you. So it does everything that the software that you end up putting on the Eagle, and soon the Eagle will have their own onboard software called Play, which will do the same things, the polar alignment and everything. So you won't have to put all this other if you don't want to.
Right.
Hey, Frank's
Yeah,
on.
that's going to be
He changed his
that right
name,
there.
AKA
Yeah,
Astro
Astro
Puppet.
Puppet. That right there, Dan, is one of the ones I think we're going to devote probably at least a whole show to, if not 2 shows. Is
we've
the
developed,
review and the play of that play.
Yeah, so I'm waiting to see it. We also saw the intro video from Filippo out in Italy. And it looks interesting. I don't know if it'll be as functional as, let's say, a Nina or an SGP or a Sharp Cat. But if you're just looking for quick acquisition, polar alignment, and plate solve, I'm pretty sure it's going to do that. Leave my hair alone, Frank. Jeez. You guys.
Trust me, he's been getting plenty of love.
There you go.
Yeah,
How's
you
that?
see now we've got we've got the two sides of the spectrum. We got Dan with all the hair and Eric with, you know.
I tell you, listen, once Halloween is done, Jen said that I'm taking a buzzy to your hair November 1st. And hey, you know, when will the Eagle be $2.99? That would be never. That would be never. Never. Not what.
Think of it.
Listen,
Think of it this way.
the Windows
Think of
10
it this
license costs $200.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know,
Do you really want to buy a $300 laptop?
I did, and it's now
And-
a
Brick.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. No. You get what
look
you pay
like-
for.
He's saying I look like a puppet. My hair. And listen, you know,
Eagle Air Plus.
I got something planned with this hair. I got something
Yeah.
planned, and it will be AstroWorld related too. So I mean, there will be a little something. I'm putting it together next week. I'm gonna get dressed up, and just so a little hint, a little hint. There you go. Little hint. There you go.
Come
And that's-
down here, Georgie.
That's all I'm saying.
Yo,
That's all I'm saying.
down here.
And there is a scene in the original It movie that is kind of astronomy related, and I'm going to input myself into it. So it's going to be interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So that being Dan Wiggs, George, shut up. They want to sell my hair now.
By the way, when we opened the show, I said that I had found something that I thought was interesting, and I don't know if anybody else can see it, but I thought it was kind of cool. In the
I don't know.
let me share my screen here. In the veil, I was looking at the veil the other day, and I saw this. Here, share screen right there. Okay, you want to go full screen on that,
Yeah, I'm getting that.
right?
Pause it.
And okay, so whoa,
God, it's like Doctor Who.
what in the world is going on there?
What are you doing?
I'm not doing anything.
That's not me.
Oh no, wait a minute, hold on. There we go.
There you
So
go.
here's the veil, right?
Right?
Right.
So this right here,
Yeah.
what
Yeah,
does that
the
look
front, the
like
back.
to you?
It looks like a xenophobe head from Alien.
That is
We always talk about that.
exactly.
Yeah, I
That
can
is
see
exactly right. That's what I think it looks like.
Yeah.
We always, a lot of us used to, you know, I mentioned that to somebody. There was a few of my friends, and then other people started talking. Yeah, it looks like a xenophobe head, you know,
Yeah,
from
Yeah, okay.
Aliens.
Yeah.
yeah. I thought that was really cool. I looked at that. I'm like, that looks like a xenomorph.
It
And
does.
Sure
It
enough,
does.
It is.
That's what it is.
That's exactly
That's
what
what
it
it
is. Yep, that is exactly
Yeah.
what it
And-
is.
oh, you
Yeah.
know what? I found the picture that I was looking for the whole time
Yeah, let me
on
back
Wednesday
out of
night.
this.
Hang
There
on
we
a
go.
sec. Somebody just asked for Astro Bin. So if you guys can,
That is
if you
pretty
could put in your Astro Bin for Frank, he's looking for
Yep,
Astro
I just dropped mine in there.
Yeah, I just put my link in there. And so you remember I was looking for a picture with the horse head the last time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I showed this. I know I showed it on the show. I think it was done last Christmas. But I'll show it again. And
You can take it off of just me and put it back in the green room.
Oh, don't worry. I just wanted to show you a pretty face. That's all.
I'm getting scruffy, see?
Yeah, well, that's it for you. I'm done with you. So here you go. So here is my, and now this is it's still in process. This is a really bad process of it. It's very modeled. It's very over noise reduced, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But
It looks plastic.
yeah, it looks plastic. It does. It looks very modeled, and it's not very good. Although
what we
on the
call
tack
flat.
looks pretty decent, to be honest with
Yeah,
you.
it does.
Everything
Yes.
else looks like crap, but on the tack looks good. But so I put this on, and this is 2 hours worth of data, if I remember right, with the 80 ED and the
Okay.
S big camera. With a really quick, literally no masks, no nothing. I just kind of was messing around. And so somebody went up to me and said, "Hey, you know what? The horse head looks like Jar Jar Binks from Star Wars." So
Yeah.
Come on.
I couldn't resist the pun. So I made Jar Jar.
Oh, God.
Why not?
And there's Jar Jar's head in the horse head. Take it over. I color scaled it right, and I just plopped him in there. so I just put his head
Wow.
in there.
Wow.
So I put it in there, and believe it or not, on Facebook it got like something like 1,600 likes on it.
I'll bet.
I bet.
So that
That's
being
awesome.
said, that was my joke of the day on that. So we're coming up on 10 o'clock.
Yep.
Just
Okay.
really quick, we do have some guests coming up again. We have November 17th, we got Warren Keller. December 17th, we have Amy Astro. And in January or first quarter, somewhere in first quarter 2022, we'll have Filippo, Omar, and Tom, all from Prima Lucha Lab, on a possibly live, most likely recorded show. And they're going to kind of
Nice.
walk us through what they have in plans for 2022, whatever they could kind of let loose publicly, and give us a little history on the company and hang out with us for
Yeah.
a day. So
Yeah,
I think
that's
that's going to be very, very cool. I haven't seen Filippo since NEAF 2019. And I got pictures with them, and I'm telling you, I was like, why? I felt like a kid in a candy store. I was like, it's Filippo, man. I love your videos, man. He's great because he's a funny guy, man. He's a real funny guy.
He's got a great accent.
Oh yeah, this computer. God,
It's
He's got a
awesome.
great accent.
It's awesome. It's awesome. And
Yeah,
and
I love his enthusiasm.
oh, it's
Oh, yeah.
great. It's great. And you know what? And that is not fake. It's not
No.
fake. The guy is totally like that. He's like so enthused about the whole astronomy field, and
Yeah.
he has interest in plenty of other things without even talking about astrophotography.
Right.
Sure.
I mean, and he'll talk. I don't want to blow his thunder, so he'll be talking about that in first quarter of 2022. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Excellent.
Eric, you missed this in the beginning, so I'll just let you know. Simon was in his the wonderful person that he is, decided to take the reins on the AstroWorld website.
I was
Yeah.
I was actually seeing something like that in our chat, in our message board.
Yep.
So no, that would be awesome because he's got the skills.
He runs well. Yeah, I think the best thing about it, a lot of people have the skills, but not a lot of people have the astrophotography background. And
Yeah,
I
for sure.
think that's going to add a lot. And everybody, if you want to write reviews and put it on the site, you're more than welcome to. All you got to do is send it to Simon in a Word file with some pictures, and he'll post it.
Nice.
And he'll do everything. So, Scott ponied up his wife
Mm-hmm.
to do some of the, and I hope she does
Yeah,
that.
sure. We've already talked about it, in the
Yeah,
past.
so
She's
from a
definitely willing
graphics
to, yeah,
graphics
on
point of view,
the artistic end of it. Yep.
yeah, she's willing
That's
to put some
awesome.
time in. So look for hopefully by Christmas time, and this is not last year when I said Christmas time, 3 Christmases in a row. On the website was coming. I think Simon is really gonna help us out here with the website. So I think that's gonna be
Yeah,
it's
and
gonna
it's a
be
good
awesome.
thing because
Awesome.
your quotes on that were accurate. The $3,000 to $4,000 range. Trust me, I've been in the business 17 years. That's right on target.
Yeah, yeah. So there were people out there from 1,000 to 4,000, and
Hmm.
I finally found one
Mhm.
in a correct range. And then Simon called me up and said, "Hey, I'll do it." And I said, "Okay." I said,
All right then.
We'll barter it off. I'll buy you some stuff from Camera Concepts or something."
There you go.
So
There you go. There you
we'll
go.
do it for gear, and
But
so.
no, but that's awesome.
Yeah, so we
It, it,
thank Simon for you know helping out there as well. So that being said, I think it's time to say goodnight and no
yep.
Bowser tonight. But let's see, are there any last comments on YouTube?
He says, is that Simon that does crazy solar work?
No,
No, no.
no. He does do
This
some
is
solo
Simon in New
work, but
Zealand.
yeah. This is Simon Lewis. He is
Yep.
part of the ZWO beta tester team,
Yep.
and he does a lot of stuff. He was president of, and I'm going to screw up the name, but it was the astronomy club out in New Zealand. He also runs the website for them as well. It's, believe it or not, I think it's astronomynewzealand.com if I remember right.
Okay.
He was
Yep.
shocked. He bought that domain a couple years ago, and he can't believe it was still around. Or it might be Astronomy NZ or New Zealand or
Hmm.
something like that. Check it out. The website's pretty good, and he does a lot of work with the communities, and he still deals with a lot of the outreach that they're allowed to do, waiting for COVID to subside. So that being said, we'll just do a real quick final thoughts on telescopes and cameras, Scott.
Telescopes and cameras, yeah. It definitely do your homework. When it
Yeah.
comes to this stuff, do yourself a favor. Don't go gear heavy. Right off the bat. Do your homework on what is going to work best for you. It's like our buddy Pete Meyer says all the time: buy once, cry once. And
Hmm.
it's better to have a gear that's a little bit more expensive that fits your needs than something that you think is going to work and you're going to wind up selling it on cloudy nights later. You know, um, we've all done that. So
Yeah.
do your homework, read up, and try to figure out exactly what your budget range is. And
Yep.
we can fit you to a scope.
Yeah.
It's just gotta define those parameters.
Absolutely.
I'll agree
Absolutely.
with.
Oh,
I'll
and
echo.
the other
I'll echo
thing
that
too.
too.
The
Hmm.
other thing too is, when I've already been scouting uh, astronomy clubs in Florida, and there are two that are within probably, I don't know, maybe 15 miles of where I'm looking at living.
Good.
So we'll be doing some star parties down there eventually as well,
Yeah.
and not to mention the big one that's in Key West.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, that's coming back. It's going to come back with a vengeance in February.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
it's going to be cool. I mean, I would love
Oh,
to.
there's Sean.
Yeah, I saw him pop on, another 11th hour guy. I know. Sean,
Hi,
you're
bye.
not allowed to be too busy, man. You're not allowed for that.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
Yeah.
But welcome,
But to
Sean. Sean from Visible Dark
yeah.
is
Yeah.
online. So thank you for
Yeah.
swinging by.
Yeah.
Appreciate
But
it.
Yeah.
but to echo what Scott was saying, as
Yeah,
far
go.
as talking about telescopes and cameras and stuff like that, I would say personally, and this is just from my experience, start out with your DSLR. If you have a DSLR,
Yep.
start out with your DSLR, but also ask yourself the question: what do I actually want to image? Do I want to go deep sky, or am I more interested in planetary? So that's going to dictate, the type of scopes that you're going to be, leaning towards. And then you can decide on, everything else, because a lot of, because you can always get T adapters and T rings to use with your DSLRs to mount with many of these telescopes that are already out there, SCTs or whatever else, and refractors. So before you actually jump into the camera, think about the scope and actually think about what you really want to image. If you like nebulae and you like galaxies and stuff like that, then you might want to think about, maybe a Schmidt. But but like wide field, and you really want to see a lot of stuff, then start thinking about refractors. But use some of the stuff you already have that are already in your home, and then just take it from there.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, exactly. And just to echo on that, there is the right tool for the right job. And like Scott said, do your homework. Like Eric said, use what you already have to start.
Hey, be sure yourself on too.
You're not going to sit there and you're not going to, I kind of equate this stuff to golf, so that's what I'm going to do. Is you're not going to use a pitching wedge off the tee on a par 5. It's not going to happen. It's not the right tool for the right job. You're going to use the driver or a 3-wood or something like. You're going to use something that will hit the ball further. You're not going to use a circular saw to whittle a delicate piece of wood. It's not going to do that. It's not going to do what you need it to do. So if you don't know what the right tool is, you could always come to us. Or if you want something locally, go join your local astronomy club. Talk to the people in there, get to know the community in there, because there's a ton of information out there that's available. It's people that you probably already know or that you're going to want to get to know, because when you're out there in the field taking pictures at the beach or at somewhere else where everybody else is meeting, you'll be able to ask these other people around you, hey, listen, my guiding's off, or I can't get a picture, or I'm not in focus, or whatever. There are a lot of outlets of information out there that aren't the YouTubes, the whatever. Talk to the people, join your local astronomy club, and I'm telling you, make friends with that, and it'll be so much more easier for you. Now, if you don't have an astronomy,
is vitally important. I'm just saying that I was just agreeing with what you were saying. That is vitally important. You have to develop a relationship with the community, because if you try to come into this and solo mano it, where you're just going to be an island unto yourself, you're going to be frustrated, and it's your scope is probably going to start collecting dust in the closet. If you get involved with people, you get involved with a club. It's what my dad used to tell me all the time. He says, if the only tool that you have in your toolbox is a hammer, you start to look at everything like a nail. And so you want to broaden your perspective and get out there and join a club. Join a club.
Absolutely
Critical. Come and be a part of this. Every twice a week. Wednesdays and Fridays.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one real quick thing before we go to Frank Longo's point, portability. Don't buy something that you're gonna struggle with, as far as getting set up and stuff like that, because then that's going to be another drag on you. So portability, things like that, things that are easier for you to manage. Take that into consideration as well. You don't want to end up buying, Scott here, getting a C14, that you need basically.
For this.
I know you basically need a Mars rover to keep that thing around.
And he has one. It's on top of it.
There.
There you go.
There you go.
There it is. There's the monster.
Yes, there he goes. There's the monster.
That was right before he took his first and only picture.
And I'm still wondering why don't you have actual? I'm wondering why you don't have suspension on that thing. He's
got shocks on those wheels. I'm telling you.
Shocks on the things for all-wheel drive. But that's you may not want something like that or consider something like that. Think about going a little smaller with an 8-inch if you do want to
Yeah.
do planetary and stuff like that, and you can still do deep sky with an 8-inch and stuff.
Yep.
So
Sure.
that is a great versatile telescope. So if you want to do something, if you want to try to get all, both, for example, if you want to do both deep sky and you want to do planetary, start out with an 8-inch SCT,
Yep.
if you really want to do something like that.
And that's why the 8-inch SCT is one of the biggest sellers for SCTs, because it's so versatile. You got a semi decent long focal length at 2,000 millimeters. You could stop it down with the reducer. And you could do a whole bunch of stuff with it. Like you said, you could start off, throw a Barlow in there, get it to f20 and do some planetary, or you could stop it down and get that nice planetary nebulas, like the Dumbbell Nebula and the Veil and all that. If you want to stop it down to 0.7, 0.6, or if you want to go crazy, go get the Lepus at 0.5. But I don't even know if that's gonna work.
No, it's just a
Yeah,
0.62.
that doesn't work for the
0.62.
SCT. Yeah,
No,
0.62.
no,
I'm a part of a.
There's
I'm
the
a part of
owl. What is
Facebook.
the owl thing? 0.5? What is that? Night owl?
Yeah, I think the night owl. The night owl is
Night
like
owl.
a 0.4. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a 0.4.
Crazy.
I'm a
I
part of a
don't think
Facebook group.
I want that sucker too.
Do you want what?
I want that night owl. I want that 4. I want that 0.4.
Dude, I can't imagine the vignetting on that. I can't imagine.
Yeah, me.
I'm a part of a
But
Facebook
Scott, you were
group that
saying-
is. Yeah, it's the Rainbow Astro Facebook group, and I've seen lots of people on there. There's like 800 members in that group, and I've seen a lot of people that have the 135 and the 135E, and I've seen 11s. I've seen C11s on that
Oh, yeah.
135.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'm sure.
The C8 is a perfect. I mean, you talk about portability. You could literally put that C8 on a nice heavy duty, like a Gitzo tripod or another portable tripod, and put that 135 right on top of it with like a 6 or an 8-inch extension off the top of the tripod, and you can literally run that 8-inch easily. And it's something that you could just about put the thing in a backpack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the EAA was probably outstanding on it.
Yeah.
All right,
So
All right, guys.
10:06.
Cool.
And we got some latecomers. We had Beatrice pop
Yeah,
in. Hi,
Beatrice.
Beatrice.
Yeah.
Papa Bear, please come back again. First time watchers,
Yeah.
so come back again. If you got any other questions, you could again. I know you were late, so I'll just block Eric's face again with the email. And then we go. Eric can move up. There you go. And AstroWorldWeb.com is the website, soon to be revamped. And you can get in touch with that. You moved all the way back.
I'm back here.
Yeah. You can get in touch with us at info@astroweb.com or dude, where's the shark?
right? It's got to
You're
get
too
the
much, man.
hands like
You're
this
too
up
much.
over the top.
Yeah, no, right?
You know what? Do you remember what was that? Home
There you go.
Improvement? The guy with the fence?
Yeah.
I'm Wilson.
Yep.
Yeah, Wilson.
Wilson.
You can get in touch with us there, or you could just replace info with our name. I'm Dan, Scott right next to me, and Eric on the bottom. Or we have other members on the team. We have Simon, who's with
all
us in New
kinds of people
Zealand.
jumping
We
in there.
have Tegan, and we have
Yep.
Jason Janes, and I'm missing, and Simon
Tyler.
Lewis. And Tyler. I always
And
forget Tyler.
Tyler.
Tyler in Arkansas.
Tyler.
So you get in touch with all of us at our first name at astroweb.com.
Yep.
And Gig is here. How you doing?
Yeah. Many thanks. Sure.
Well, Papa, if you want to wait till Tuesday, I'll be working there on Tuesday. So I do work there one day a week, but this week I'm working twice. I'm working Tuesday and Thursday. So if you want to wait and talk to me, you can wait till Tuesday and
Thursdays.
change your order. No, Tuesday.
Oh, are you Tuesdays
I'm working
now?
this week. I'm working Tuesday and Thursday. So
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, CCTSB. You guys are funny. All right, everybody, have a good night. Thank you for watching all. Come see us next Wednesday. And
Yep.
what are we doing? We have anything going on? What's next Wednesday? No, it's the Wednesday before Halloween, right? Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're just gonna, we're gonna hang out. We're gonna answer more questions, talk about more stuff, and have some fun. And so definitely come on over, hang out with us.
If everything works out, next Friday may not be a show because I may be at IMAX. So.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. There may not be a show on Friday because
there may not be a show on Friday.
Because we may be at IMAX.
Been waiting for this movie for 30 freaking years. So
yes.
There you go. Fear is the mind killer. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What is the Kwisatz
This is the Doom remake, right? Or the sequel?
This is the Dune remake, yes.
The remake. Yes.
Remake.
The remake
All right, guys.
of the remake. Of the remake. If you can. That other guy, Joe Dorowski's Dune. That was never made. But that's just me. Anyway, all right, guys, we can run all night. But have a good night, everybody. I would say get home safe, but you're already home. And have a good night. And as always, everybody, keep imaging, keep educating, clear skies, and we'll see you Wednesday night. Have a good night, all.
Bye for now.
Everybody.